All right, over the past few years, I've done the following businesses. I've done Amazon FBA, agencies, Airbnb/real estate, course business, dropshipping, and affiliate marketing. In this video, I want to actually break down the pros and cons of each of these businesses to see which one's best for you to start in 2024 and beyond. So why don't we start with an agency business first? In 2018, I had an agency helping other Amazon FBA sellers with their listing optimization, meaning like photography, videography, copywriting, keyword research, so on and so forth. I partnered up with someone named Russell, and we started the company called FBA Makeover. Okay. Now, what I like about the agency model, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen ads right now for like SMMA, social media agencies, so on and so forth. Now, what I like about the model is the fact that the startup cost is very low. However, what I do not like about the business model is the fact that you have to be really good at selling. You have to get clients. You have to cold call. You have to cold email. You have to network. You have to be able to get clients. Once you get clients, you better deliver results, right? Now, if you suck at buying traffic on Facebook, if you suck at graphic design, if you suck at whatever the service that you wanted to offer that client is not actually going to stick around with you. So you have to deliver something really, really amazing, right? With cold calling and cold emailing is very, very difficult. I know this because I used to work at Yellow Pages back in 2015 to 17. My job was to cold call and sell advertising on yp.ca and Yellow Pages, so on and so forth. And I can tell you right now, it was the best possible experience that I can ever, endure. However, out of 100 calls you make, maybe you'll get 1 or 2 yes. So if you want to start your own agency and you don't have any clients, you better be prepared to be sending thousands of emails and maybe getting a few meetings. And out of those meetings, maybe you'll get one person to say yes. Now, I know a lot of course sellers out there make this process sound really easy by telling you that there's proven scripts. But here's the problem. Right now, I have some businesses. I get hit up all the time by these students of theirs, and all the scripts sound the exact same title, exact same body. So I just became, I'm like, guys, this is copy and paste. Like, I'm not even gonna look at this video anymore, right? Or this email anymore. So if you want to get into social media agency, you better be really, really good at selling, and you better be prepared to get thousands of no's, and you better be really, really skilled at whatever the service that you're promising the client to deliver on, whether that's SEO or Meta or Instagram or social media, whatever it might be. So that's my thoughts regarding agencies. Yeah, can you make 10, 20, 30 grand? Probably, right? Very, very doable. And even if you don't do it, you don't lose a lot of money, which is something that I think is kind of nice. But for me, it wasn't the right business. Oh, by the way, the thing that I hated the most about the agency, guys, is the fact that you're basically your client's bitch. You got to do everything you can to keep them happy. You're in the service industry. You got to make sure they're happy. You got to, talk to them. You got to explain things to them. You got to do this. You got to do that. So if you don't even like dealing with people, then agency, I can tell you right now, is not the best business for you. Okay. So let's talk about Airbnb and real estate. So we've been in the Airbnb business for the past 2 or 3 years, something like that. And funny story about Airbnb, back in like 2013 or something, when Airbnb first came up, I used to live with my parents. My parents was living half the time in Canada, half the time in LA. And when they were not here, I actually Airbnb'd their bedroom, and that paid for my college tuition. And then one day, my parents were like, hey, we're actually coming back to Canada. I'm like, oh shit, there's a guest in your bedroom. And I had to explain to them what Airbnb was, and they were not happy. Okay, they were not very happy. So anyways, that was a pretty funny story about Airbnb. But, our Airbnb business will probably do, $300,000, $350,000 in revenue this year. But in terms of business itself, well, you need to buy properties. Where are you going to come up with the money to buy these properties? Well, you got to get them from somewhere, right? So that's going to cost you a lot of money. So the barrier to entry is very, very high. You got to actually own a property. Now, I know a lot of people teach things like, arbitrage, where you go to a landowner, you say, hey, I want to help you to put your property on Airbnb. Okay, that's like fine. But to me, that's more like a side hustle. Like, I don't know if you can ever sell that business. Also, it's very, very hard to scale. For example, like how many clients are you really going to have? But like I said, I like that business for anybody who just wants to make maybe 10, 20, 30 grand a month. Why? Because again, very similar to social media agency, you don't lose anything. Like if you are not looking to buy your own properties to Airbnb and you just want to do retail arbitrage, well, you just need to be really good at selling. Again, really good at selling. This is the one part that I think a lot of people don't understand how difficult it is that you need to convince someone to basically help them to list their property on Airbnb, and you take a difference. And that process will be much harder than you can ever imagine, because I'm sure that these people get hit up all the freaking time. And what makes you different? You don't have any experience, so on and so forth. So that part is going to be extremely difficult for you. But at the end of the day, I would say that it's a pretty passive business. Our Airbnb business, maybe I put an hour a week into it. Everything is automated. The cleaners come and the guest checks out and there's automated messaging. Yes, sometimes you have to deal with issues. For example, some of my guests broke my stuff and I have to get it replaced and blah, blah, blah. But that's part of the business, you know? Sometimes you have to deal with clients that are not very nice and whatever. That's just part of like the service industry, right? So Airbnb business, you know, if you don't have a lot of startup capital and you want to get into it, yeah, it's probably a pretty good way for you to do it. But again, you need to be really good at selling. This is the one part that I don't think a lot of gurus tell you about. You need to be a really good salesperson and convince someone that you can Airbnb their place. So the next thing I want to talk about is, let's talk about the course business. All right, so I have a course called FBA Masterclass, and I've been doing this for a very long time. And I would say that this business is, I have a lot of thoughts on this business. You have to update the product very, very frequently. Amazon FBA changes so fast. So whenever they change, you have to upload a new video, you have to explain new tactics, you need to explain new things. Also, I'm teaching the beginners crowd. A lot of people are like, they're just entrepreneurs, they're not entrepreneurs. So they come in, they watch the first chapter, they never do anything, they blame me, they blame that, they blah, 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 like Amazon doesn't work. BS. Of course Amazon works, right? Every single business works. It's just they didn't put their heart and soul into it. So sometimes that is very, very energy draining. It's not an energy positive thing for me. It's very energy draining. Say, oh, you know, you can do it. Like, honestly, like I'm not Tony Robbins. I'm not someone who can like change someone's life and give them like a freaking transformation where they're like, oh my God, like, yeah, suddenly I can do this. So that part I really, really don't like. But there are people that are ready to do this and they take the course and they ended up making millions of dollars, right? Very few, right? But just like any industry, but they can do it. So it's like, is it the person or is it the course? Because they took the same course. So I have a lot of success stories within Amazon FBA Masterclass, and those are really, really fun for me to watch. One of my students recently made like $80,000 in the first 3 weeks. So that's really cool. Now, the downside of a course business is that, again, you have to be creating content. You have to be in front of videos. You have to be almost being like an actor. I've been making videos since 2018. So that is 6 years. Oh my gosh, that's a long time. You know, that's a long time making videos. Sometimes I enjoy it, sometimes I don't. And to be honest with you, one of the things that I really enjoy is growth. I know the world is much bigger than Amazon FBA, and I have to keep talking about Amazon FBA, and sometimes I don't want to talk about Amazon FBA. I want to talk about real estate investing. I want to talk about spirituality. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about that. So that's one thing I really don't like. Obviously, the things I do like is the fact that you can help people. I think the education system is completely broken. If you want to learn how to make money online, schools don't teach you that. So where are you going to learn it, right? But yeah, you can make good money from the course business. However, over the past couple of years, I'd say business have been really tough. There's a lot of people that are selling courses now, and most of them are freaking scams. They never build a business themselves. They just want to sell a course. So ad cost is going up. The team is actually very complex. We have like 30, 40 people on the team. It's a lot of people. If you don't like managing people, don't get into the course business. And also, what I really don't like about the course business is the fact that it's reliant on me. I'm the product, right? I really don't like that with Sdara Skincare. The scale is much bigger. Like, you can scale this business, a physical product business, to tens of hundreds of millions of dollars without any really constraint, because your only constraint is really just manufacturing. But with my business, if I want to make more videos, I have to like go into a studio and shoot all day. And yeah, sometimes that can get really exhausting. So like, I feel like sometimes I'm almost in the acting business. I'm not even in the course business. I'll have to like look pretty in front of a camera and like do all the type of stuff. But yeah, the course business is interesting. A lot of people are getting into the course business now. A lot of influencers or creators, they want to monetize their audience. And one of the first things they do is selling a course. So we've done like probably over $50 million with our course business. So I say we're one of the biggest Amazon FBA course companies out there. The other thing I don't like about the course business is that it's not sellable. So with Amazon FBA businesses, even social media agencies, not sure about Airbnb business, probably not, but it's sellable. It's meaning if you don't want to do it anymore, you can sell it to someone else and you get paid out like a fat amount, right? Just like my Amazon FBA business. This, if I don't want to do it anymore, I am the business. So what happens to the business? I shut it down. down, I replace myself. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much it with regards to the course business. Let's talk about dropshipping next. So with regards to dropshipping, I really do not like this business. I really do not like it. I have some experience in it back in 2017, I think, when I was dabbling in dropshipping. My buddy had a store. He asked me to manage it for him, and I really don't like it. I'll tell you why. You're always looking for the next trend, and you're shipping really low quality products from China. And sometimes these shipment takes 20, 30, 40 days, and it's just not a good customer experience. Now customers want to get their products within, 2 or 3 days from Amazon. So you're always looking for a next trend. When you sell your business, it's worth nothing. It's worth maybe like 1x EBITDA, which is still better than the course business, to be honest with you. Things are always changing. You always need to figure out a new way to acquire customers. You need to be very tech savvy. You need to know how to build landing pages, filming good ads, buying ads on Meta, so on and so forth. And the biggest thing I don't like is like you're not building equity. Once that your product doesn't sell well anymore, once it's saturated, like the fidget spinner, you have to find a new product. You're always chasing after the next rabbit. Whereas with a physical product business or Amazon FBA business, you can actually build a long-term brand, and the brand can last you 5, 10, 15, 20 years even, right? So that's called building equity, and you're scaling that brand. You're getting more customers to come back, and that's what I like. That's what I think makes the most amount of sense. So dropshipping, I would probably say the good thing about dropshipping business is that you don't really have to talk to anybody. Like if you like to be at home by yourself in front of a computer, you don't have to talk to anyone, which is nice, right? Not like a social media agency or even course business. You have to service so many people, talk to so many people all day, selling people. This, you can just stay at home, do nothing. Do they work? Yeah, I know some people that are still killing it with dropshipping, but I just think that if you know how to do dropshipping, you might as well do like Amazon FBA or even D2C, because then you can actually build a long-term brand that one day you can get acquired for 3, 4, 5x EBITDA. So why not, right? Same thing, really, in my opinion. So if you're a dropshipper, like build your own brand. That's like how you make the big bucks, right? Now, the last thing I'll talk about is Amazon FBA. So this is where I made my majority of my wealth, especially when I sold the business back in 2020. But I still think it's the best business, guys. I know I sound biased because this is like an Amazon FBA channel, but challenge me, like comment something down below. Have you came across a business where it's so good when it comes to cash flow? A lot of, Amazon gives you the customers. You don't really necessarily need to find your own customers because they're all shopping on Amazon already. You just need to understand how to rank your product on page 1 of Amazon. Cash flow wise is great. You can easily make 15, 20, even 25%, even 30%. At the height, we're doing like 40% margins on some of our products. These numbers, they're unheard of. If you talk about dropshipping e-commerce, very minimal margins. With Amazon FBA, a lot more margins. Amazon does everything for you. I think beginner, it's like, obviously it's getting a little bit harder for beginners. Now you need to know how to construct a proper listing. You need to know how to maybe drive some external traffic, whether it's from Meta or TikTok or influencers, which is fine. But I still think that it's still one of the best businesses in 2024. I think that the only thing I don't really like about Amazon is the fact that sometimes it takes a long time to get started, especially if you want to customize your product. Right now, I'm working on a customization of a product that will take over a year to get started because they need to build custom mold and 3D printing and this and that. So that takes a long time. And also, there's a big risk because I have to invest a lot of money into the mold and the product and the inventory. What if it doesn't sell well, right? Then I'm screwed. So that's the one thing I don't like about Amazon, is that it takes a long time to get started. But again, depends on the product, because I have some students that launch under 3 months, right? They order the product, takes 1 month to manufacture, 1 month to ship, and then boom, they're in Amazon. So it takes 3 months, but the product I'm working on right now is going to take a little bit longer. Also, again, inventory, right? So you have to buy inventory. If you want to scale, you have to buy more inventory. So that's the part where I feel like if you don't have any money, Amazon FBA, honestly, is probably not the best business for you. You're probably better off working a 9-to-5 job, saving some money, or working on something with low investment capital for you to get started with. And then once you have enough money, once you are ready to take the risk, then you can buy the inventory for your Amazon FBA business. That's kind of how it works. If you have no money, unfortunately, Amazon FBA business is not for you. But the thing I love about Amazon is the fact that you can scale, you can grow. I mean, guys, I know Amazon brands that are doing like $1 million a month in under 1 year, right? $500,000 a month under 2 years. It's very, very difficult for you to do that in an Airbnb business. It's very difficult for you to do that in an agency business unless you have a massive team. And that's another thing I like about Amazon, is that I know someone who ran a $10 million per year Amazon business with just 2 full-time employees. Guys, if you're running any other business, you're gonna have a crap load of employees. Like our course business has 30. A lot of people say, well, what's wrong with that? Trust me, dealing with the employees and running a team, it's very, very difficult. It's not an easy thing because you're dealing with 30 different personalities. It's not easy, right? So yeah, I mean, for me, look, right now I'm focusing on investing my money, but also like I want to get back into the Amazon FBA business and build another e-commerce business. Again, I'm not married to the idea, but if you guys know any other businesses that are better, just let me know in the comment section. Like, I'm down to do those businesses with anybody that's interested in partnering up, as long as the numbers and everything makes sense. So that's my experience with all these different businesses. I hope this is helpful for you. Click the thumbs up button, comment something down below, let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you guys in the next video.